Welcome to our deep dive into the astounding wealth of John D. Rockefeller, the oil tycoon who redefined what it meant to be rich. Buckle up, because the numbers we're about to explore might just blow your mind. Chapter 1. The Rise of an Oil Titan. John D. Rockefeller was born on July 8, 1839, in Richford, New York. His journey to unimaginable wealth began with the founding of Standard Oil in 1870. At first, his company was just one of many in the booming oil industry, but Rockefeller had a vision and a ruthless business acumen that would soon set him apart. By 1880, Standard Oil controlled an astonishing 90% of oil production in the United States. This monopoly would become the foundation of Rockefeller's vast fortune. Chapter 2. The Numbers Game. Let's talk numbers, shall we? At the peak of his wealth in 1913, Rockefeller's fortune stood at about $900 million. Now, that might not sound like much compared to today's billionaires, but hold on to your hats. When adjusted for inflation, that $900 million translates to a mind-boggling $23.5 billion in today's dollars. But here's where it gets really interesting. Chapter 3. Wealth in Perspective. To truly understand Rockefeller's wealth, we need to look at it in relation to the economy of his time. In 1913, the entire US economy was worth about $39.1 billion. This means that Rockefeller's $900 million fortune was equivalent to about 0.3% of the country's entire economic output. To put that in perspective, for someone to have the same proportion of wealth today, they would need to be worth about $580 billion. Given that the US GDP in 2023 was approximately $25.4 trillion. That's more than twice the net worth of today's richest person, Elon Musk. Chapter 4. The oil empire's earnings. But how much was Rockefeller actually making? At its peak, Standard Oil was paying out about $60 million in annual dividends. As the majority shareholder, Rockefeller was pocketing about $30 million of that each year. Adjusted for inflation, that's equivalent to an annual income of about $784 million in today's dollars. Just let that sink in for a moment. Hey, if these numbers are making your head spin, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more mind-blowing financial histories. Chapter 5. Beyond Oil. Rockefeller's diverse portfolio. Rockefeller's wealth wasn't just tied to oil. He was a savvy investor who diversified his portfolio extensively. By 1910, he had significant investments in railroads, banking, shipping, and real estate. His real estate holdings alone were estimated to be worth $200 million at the time. That's over $5 billion today. He owned vast tracts of land, including what would become Rockefeller Center in New York City. This diversification helped insulate his wealth from market fluctuations and antitrust actions against Standard Oil. Chapter 6. The Breakup and its surprising consequence. In 1911, the US Supreme Court ordered the breakup of Standard Oil into 34 separate companies. You might think this would have decreased Rockefeller's wealth, but here's the kicker. The breakup actually doubled his fortune. As separate entities, the companies were valued higher than they had been as a single monopoly. Rockefeller, who held stock in all these new companies, saw his net worth skyrocket from about $300 million to $900 million in just a few years. Now, here's a question for you. Do you think the breakup of big tech companies today would have a similar effect on their founders' wealth? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Chapter 7. The Legacy of Wealth. Rockefeller's wealth didn't just impact his own life. It created a dynasty. He became a prolific philanthropist, donating over $500 million during his lifetime. Adjusted for inflation, that's over $13 billion in today's money. His descendants have continued this legacy of wealth and philanthropy. As of 2023, the Rockefeller family's combined net worth is estimated to be around $8.4 billion. While this is a fraction of John D's peak wealth, it still places them among the richest families in America. So there you have it, the staggering scale of John D. Rockefeller's wealth. His fortune wasn't just measured in millions or billions, but as a significant percentage of the entire US economy. In relative terms, he remains the richest American to have ever lived, a testament to the power of monopoly, smart investing, and being in the right industry at the right time. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more fascinating financial histories.